This next question, this is from a friend of the show. We know Brian really, really well. And this is a great question. Brian with a Y asks, what can we all do to prevent identity theft? I know freezing our credit is a thing. I'm not sure if you've done this before. Thanks for your input here. In the world of cybersecurity in which we live, we've had a forensic consultant tell us before, it's not a matter of if your private information will be compromised. It's a matter of when will it happen and how prepared were you for it? So when we think about protecting ourselves and risk management, what do you do personally? What are some of the things that you do? And what do we recommend for clients? And how can people make sure they keep themselves as safe as possible?
By the way, this qualifies as a current event that Brian is bringing to everybody's attention. You know, there is word on the street now that cyber criminals have actually obtained all the Social Security numbers of the entire citizen space. Did you know this? I mean, this is one of our topics that we're likely covering coming up.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's bad. So this has been disclosed out there, but I think everybody, based upon how many, I can count, typically it's 3 to 5 every year, whether it's me, whether it's my wife, of disclosures of breaches or all kind of identity things that have been shared out there and creating vulnerabilities. So let me go ahead and just break it open for you. There are so many more criminals trying to use your Social Security number to obtain credit than likely you are. Mm-hmm. So without a doubt, freeze your credit. I mean, it's gotten so easy, by the way, whenever you have to use your credit, because you need to understand what freezing your credit means is that even though somebody might have your Social Security number, they can't open a line of credit using your Social Security number because it is on lockdown. The only way you can unlock it is you reach out to the 3 credit agencies and you unfreeze it. The good news is it's instantaneous, meaning I can actually be on the phone, ask the credit company, hey, which bureau are you pulling the data from? They say Equifax. I'd be like, okay, perfect. I'll log into Equifax, unfreeze my credit. They say, and it even had one of them, I can't remember which one, says, hey, do you want to just keep this unfrozen for 2 days, or if in case you're shopping a mortgage,
I think
or
all
doing
3 of
something.
them do that now.
But for me, I've been on the phone and then I unfreeze it once I find out which credit bureau they're going, and then as soon as they tell me, hey, yeah, we pulled it, it's all good, and then I'm like, lock it right
Freeze
back
it right
down.
back up.
So that's the first thing, Brian. Go out there and consider freezing your credit. Make sure you keep up with all the user ID and passwords, because I don't want you being upset with us after you do this if you're not keeping up with how to get into unfreeze those accounts for future purchases.
Hey, what's a great way to keep up with like user IDs and passwords? Seems like that's something too that might be like a cybersecurity issue.
And that's
right?
the next thing, is that we love password services, where you're actually, using some type of centralized password management where every website you go on to is a unique website, a unique login, user ID, password, 12, 16 and beyond digits with, multiple numerals, symbols, all kind of other crazy things. I went kicking and screaming into this, and it was probably around 2019 that I got really serious about cybersecurity and have used a password manager ever since. And I got to tell you, my life is better. The other thing that I think you've got to make sure is that even if somebody has your password, how do you make it benign or make it where it doesn't actually hurt you, is that you got to put multi-factor on every financial account that you have.
Love it.
The easy way to do that is just to have a text come to you. But I even like I use Google Authenticator on a lot of stuff. A lot of your password managers will also have authenticator apps. But it's just a great way, and we can do more content on this, but that's a great kind of summary of some of the options people can do.
I heard you say something interesting. Even though you use a password manager, the recommendation is still have secure passwords. So even if you're using a password manager, one of the benefits of doing that is it allows you to have the 12 or 16 digit non-linear numeric symbol, all that stuff. Even if you're using the password manager, you should still make sure you have super secure passwords, and it allows you to have more secure passwords inside the password manager, right?
Yep.
So you said password manager, you said secure password, you said MFA, you said credit freeze.
I got one more.
I can't wait to hear what it is.
No, it's because Social Security numbers are now getting more and more, compromised. I do think that we're going, and this is part I will have to prepare and research another step into when we do a full show on this, is how to protect your Social Security number so people don't file taxes on your behalf. And you can get an ID, you can get a PIN with the IRS and other things. There's some proactive steps you can do, but I think that is going to be a big vulnerability that as these Social Security numbers start getting sold out there on the dark side of things, that you need to be protected.
The last thing that I'll throw on top of that, if you have your credit report frozen, that should be the thing that like locks everything down. But you are also entitled to free credit reports every year. You can go to annualcreditreport.com and you can go pull your credit report and make sure everything you see on there is something that you recognize. And if you pull your credit report and you see an account or a name or something on there that you do not recognize, you can obviously call them and figure out what's going on there. One of the best ways to make sure that you're protecting yourself is to be offensive. Is to be on the offense, to make sure you're looking your stuff, reviewing, to make sure there's nothing nefarious going on out there that you do not know about.
And if you are the person that has 5 different variations of one password and you think you're smart, guys, you got to get better than that, because they're getting better and better. I think that there's also going to be more scams coming with the rise of artificial intelligence. I run the payroll still, the most expensive payroll operator in the world, and I'm amazed at how many bogus payroll update requests I get every month. And I'm like, you scam artists have to know that I can walk down the hall. Yes, we're getting big with over 40 employees, but I know who everybody is, and I can go walk down the hall or Slack somebody and say, what's going on? So, but be aware that these things, I think they're going to get worse, not better. So plan accordingly.